time, a young prince lived in a shining castle. One cold night, an old beggar woman arrived, offering the prince a single rose if he would let her take shelter from the cold. But because of her ugliness, he turned her away. Suddenly, she changed into a beautiful enchantress. Because the prince was selfish, the enchantress turned him into a terribly ugly beast. Then she gave him a magic mirror and a rose, telling him that it would bloom until his 21st year. To break the spell, he must love another and earn that person's love before the last petal fell. In a small village nearby, a beautiful young woman named Belle hurried through town. She greeted the people, then rushed to her favourite shop, the bookstore. As Belle walked out of the bookstore, a handsome hunter named Gaston ran after her.
Belle, the whole town's talking about you. It's not right for a woman to read. It's about time you got your nose out of those books and paid attention to more important things, like me.
Belle tried to get away without being rude, but Gaston's friend Le Fou joined them and began to insult Maurice, her father, who was an inventor. "My father's not crazy, he's a genius." As Belle spoke, an explosion boomed from her father's house, so she started to run. At the house, Belle found her father and told him what the villagers were saying about her.
Don't worry, Belle. We won't have to live in this little town forever. Belle's father got up on his horse named Philippe and set off for the fair with his new invention.
"Goodbye and good luck." But soon the horse was lost in a dark, misty forest. As Maurice paused to look around, he saw two yellow eyes staring out of the darkness. Terrified, Maurice ran through the forest with the wolves behind him. When he reached a tall, heavy gate, he dashed inside, slamming the gate on the wolf, whose sharp teeth snapped at his leg. Maurice turned around to see a grand castle.
Hello, I've lost my horse, and I need a place to stay for the night. Of course, sir.
Maurice turned around. He could see no one. Then he looked down and saw a big wall clock with a cold, frowning face. Beside him was a smiling candle stand. Maurice grabbed the clock and examined it. As the wall clock protested, the candle stand led Maurice into the sitting room. Suddenly, the door opened and a voice boomed. In the shadows was a large, ugly figure.
Please, I need a place to stay. I'll give you a place to stay. The beast grabbed Maurice and pulled him out of the room.
Meanwhile, Belle was at home. Her father's horse came back alone. "Philippe, what are you doing here? Where's Papa?" Frightened, Belle jumped onto Philippe and returned to the mysterious forest. Soon they found the castle. "What is this place?" Then she saw her father's hat on the ground. Belle hurried inside the gloomy castle and wandered down the wide, empty corridors. Without noticing the magical things, Belle continued to search for her father. Finally, Belle discovered Maurice locked in a tower. "Papa, we must get you out of there!" Suddenly, she heard a voice from the shadows.
What are you doing here?
"Please let my father go. Take me instead. I would take his place." The voice came into the light. She was horrified when she saw the huge, ugly beast. To save her father, Belle agreed to stay in the beast's castle forever. The beast pulled Maurice out of the castle and threw him into a carriage that would take him back to his home in town. At the castle, Belle nervously followed the beast upstairs. Maurice came back home and found a person who believed that there was a beast and who would help him. Back at the castle, the beast started to speak.
This is your home now, so you can go anywhere you like, except the West Wing. I expect you will join me for dinner.
That's not a request. After the beast left, Belle threw herself on her bed. Belle ran away from the castle and soon was surrounded by wolves. Just on the brink of her death, the beast saved her. When the fight ended, the surprised wolves ran away and the beast collapsed, wounded. Belle knew this was her chance to escape, but when she looked at the fallen beast, she could not leave him. Meanwhile, in the town, Gaston and Le Fou were plotting to have put Maurice in a madhouse unless his daughter, Belle, agreed to marry Gaston. Back at the castle, Belle cleaned the beast's wounds and thanked him for saving her life. Belle and the beast spent the evening in the library talking and laughing. After days passed, the beast started to hope that Belle would begin to care for him. The beast told Belle that she could see her father, but she has to come back within a week. Heartbroken, the beast watched as Belle climbed on Philippi and rode away. When she found her poor father in the forest, Belle took him to their cottage so that she could nurse him back to health. There was a knock. It was Mr. Arcue. He had come to take her father to his madhouse. Le Fou had convinced the villagers that Maurice was crazy because he was always talking about some terrible beast. Gaston said that if Belle married him, her father would not be in the madhouse. Belle said no and Gaston got so angry that he accidentally fell off the cliff. Belle had forgot that she was supposed to return to the beast by a week, and on the 8th day she rushed back and saw the beast wounded and collapsed. She ran to him, held him in her arms. "No, please, I love you." Slowly the beast opened his eyes and in astonishment he watched his paws change into hands. Then they watched happily as Cogsworth, the wall clock, Lumière, the candle stand, Chip, Mrs. Pot and all the other servants once again became human. True love had finally broken the spell and everyone danced for joy.